Welcome to Crossplane Nation. What we're going to do today is we're going to do a little video on what it's like to get on a major highway. I know a lot of people, even myself when I first started riding, man, I tell you what, I was a little nervous about getting on the highway. But if you do it right, it can still be safe, as long as you're watching out for these crazy people and making sure that you're doing the right thing, maintaining a certain speed at a given time. Make sure that you're choosing the right lane, and then also making sure that you're in the right part of the lane too. And we're going to talk about a few of those things. This highway we're about to get on here is a highway that runs all the way from Florida all the way across the bottom part of Texas and going out west. And so you get people that are vacationing, you get a lot of commercial traffic, these big rigs, which you'll see, and then you get a lot of your locals like myself that just get on here that need to get from A to B. 3 lanes of traffic. Ooh, that's nice. See, here you go. You already got to start watching out. They took a motorcycle course, safety course. They always want to tell you to make sure you're searching, evaluating, and executing. Now I'll tell you right now, I'm providing no motorcycle safety for you whatsoever. This is just my perspective on what I do, what I feel like is safest. It's the same advice that I'm going to give my wife as well when she starts riding. In fact, she's going to go today. But we're not going to take her on the highway, of course. We're going to just go through some back roads here. My first piece of advice would be to make sure you know your traffic. Like, I know, for example, that these 18-wheelers that are on this highway, this interstate, they'd love to maintain that middle lane, and they do that because they're going long distances and people like myself are about to get on the highway, and if they stayed in the right-hand lane, that slow lane like people like to call it, they're going to have to be getting back and forth, going back and forth, accelerating, decelerating, accelerating. So they like to maintain that middle lane. Alright, so right now we're in the slow lane. I'm running 76 miles an hour. And you can see right here, that guy, he's probably running about 90. So you can see I'm in the slow lane, running that speed, and people are still passing me. Now if you're a beginner, what I would suggest you do is I would maintain this lane right here. And the reason why I would do that is because, believe it or not, this shoulder could save your life if there's something going on. And I always look ahead a few cars or a few trucks when I possibly can. And so when I first started riding, this is where I stayed. Just maintain a nice speed and a nice distance to give yourself plenty of room to brake, because if something locks up there and you have to lock yours up, you know, locking your brakes up on a motorcycle, you're going to get a little squirrely. It might throw you over. But this is where I would maintain for a beginner. Now, one thing you need to realize is that with these big trucks, you have to take into consideration that there could be a mechanical failure anytime. I mean, they could blow a tire. That's my main concern when I see these big trucks here. And so, to be quite honest with you, I don't like to ride behind them, because if they blow a tire, I'm not worried about it tearing up my motorcycle as it is, opposed to just tearing my legs up or hitting me in the head or doing something, causing an accident for me and then getting ran over. You got people coming on right here that you have to be aware of. Check your mirrors. I always look back, make sure that blind side's good. Now, I'm not a big fan of this middle lane, but I will ride in it. I'll get over here on this far left side of the middle lane, and I do that to maintain my lane dominance. But at the same time, you can't be too dominating on a motorcycle when you have a 8,000-pound truck coming at you and they decide to not pay attention to protection. But I'm always checking my mirrors. I'm always looking around me. I'm not a big fan of riding around these big 18-wheelers safe here and maintaining a good speed, but at the same time, getting around something that big that's a little bit slower than you, now you're back to your safe zone. And if you're not that comfortable in doing that, that's fine. Just maintain that right-hand lane. You just have to make sure that you're in the right side of the right lane. I've had it happen to me before. You have to make sure that somebody doesn't, make sure that somebody sees you over there, because they can start to come over and they're checking their mirrors and they're not looking directly to the right. And they can start to come over, and if that's the case, then that's when you need to either slow your speed down or, you know, hit that shoulder a little bit. But for me, I feel comfortable riding about right here. They say not to ride in the middle lane because you can see it's a little darker. That's where all your oils and fluids drip down. Gets a little slicker. And of course, the majority of the traffic is driving in that tire lane, or that tire side of the lane, in the tire grooves. What I don't even know what it's called, to be honest with you. Forgive this sniffling here. It's, what is it, about January, mid-January? Can't beat this weather in Texas. It's supposed to be about 60, which is awesome. Now see, I don't know if you can see it up here or not, this trailer's starting to swerve. I checked my mirror, I got a car behind me, this trailer's swerving. So you can maintain your speed or slow down. Check my mirror, look back, change lanes. I see he's swerving pretty good. I check my mirror, I change lanes, I'm going all the way over. Because that way it gives me one more lane of opportunity. I guess I could call that lane of opportunity is that shoulder there. Where if that guy right there, see, he's going a little too fast, that trailer's going to start going bananas. So right now I kind of kicked the speed up a little bit. I'm running 84. I'm pretty familiar with this road. We've been down here for, my wife's grown up down here for her entire life, went to schools around here. Me personally, I just started riding on the highway. So I've ridden motorcycles now for about 6-7 years. But I haven't ridden motorcycles fluently on a highway for maybe about more than a year. This was probably a little over a year for me right now. And I feel pretty safe on the highway here. I don't really have to worry about some knucklehead looking left and right, going through town, and the next thing you know, they're pulling out in front of you. You don't have time. So here you have opportunity. You have traffic going in one direction that's straight. I know it could go left or right because of an accident or people changing lanes, but you get the idea. So you're always paying attention. You're always searching, making sure what's going on. You know, is that 18-wheeler up there, are those straps gonna break? Is that guy gonna have a blowout? Is this guy not paying attention, texting, talking on the phone? There's so many different variables involved. Am I gonna have a blowout? So again, if you're not a big fan of that middle lane, which I'm not, but I ride in it most of the time, but whenever I come up on some of those big wheelers like that, I'll get over here. I know I'm not impeding the flow of traffic, but as an experienced rider, I would call myself, I'd get on it, go with the flow, get around it, get away from that. I guess what can happen will happen. It's just a matter of time when it's going to happen. Are you going to be around it, and how are you going to react to it? Now what I do is, when I'm coming up on people, I do not like to ride in this lane right here. When I'm coming up on people, I like to ride right here, because if I'm in their blind spot and they come over on me, I have that lane of opportunity sometimes. Even if there's trash there, I'd rather run over that trash and get close to that and take a chance of not getting run over here doing 80 miles an hour. But again, this is just, this riding style that I'm describing to you is how I ride on this particular interstate. I can't get on, you know, another interstate and claim to be doing the same thing. However, the basic fundamentals in which I'm talking about, I will do the same thing. I've owned a boat. Now I see a boat up here, and I've had a flatten a boat, I've had a blowout. They have small tires, and that's just another thing. So you have an opportunity to go, okay, well, I need to make a decision. I look, check my mirrors. Do I want to stay behind that guy? I'm going to get in this furthest part of the middle lane. I check my mirrors. There's no one coming in the fast lane. I'll call that left lane the fast lane. They seem to be all pretty fast here. So I'm running 80, and the slow lane's probably 75. So you can see right here, we got one tire. You have a blowout, that thing is going to be all over the road. Checking my mirrors. I always check my mirrors when I get around these 18-wheelers, because if something happens, they come over, they're not paying attention. They got a lot going on. We got a lot going on. It allows me to do a mental check and go, okay, I have that opportunity to escape and hit that lane by checking it again, but luckily I haven't had that experience. So let me talk a little bit about what I'm on. I'm on this 2014 R1. I made the change. I had a GSX-R 1000, a 2001 K1 fuel injection. Now you'll see people are getting on up here. I'm gonna give a little gas, get around this guy here, get in this middle lane, and I'm gonna get on the left side of the middle lane. There we go. So anyway, that was probably about 6 years ago. I started off on a CBR 600 Honda F2. It was a 94. Guy had a stunt bike. I practiced with it for about 6 to 8 months. I made the transition that following summer to, excuse me, to that GSX-R 1000 2001. I loved it. It's on my other YouTube channel, on my JRM Sweeps channel. I sold it because we moved up by the lake and bought a 20-foot Baja Outlaw. That's also on there. 383 stroker motor. Got out of motorcycles and then decided I miss it. I'll be honest with you, when these R1s came out in 09, I absolutely hated them. I thought they were the ugliest things in the world. I told myself I'll ride or die a Suzuki man for the rest of my life. I started hearing that Crossplane. I started seeing it. The way it looked, it was just, it kind of grew on me. It's kind of like these 2015s that people are talking about. I myself think they're ugly. I bet in 4 or 5 years I'm going to go, man, they're sweet. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe Suzuki comes back out with something and I jump back over. But for now, I'm pleased with this Crossplane. I love it. It makes a sound that is absolutely just totally different than your basic inline 4-cylinder. It almost sounds like a Ducati meets the old Yamaha. You know, it's kind of, it still has that inline 4 sound, but it's throatier. It's almost like, I guess the analogy I make, it's almost like stuffing a V8 into a 4-cylinder. And I hate to compare it to a Ducati. So if you own a Ducati, I'm sorry if I'm hurting your feelings, saying this Japanese junk is compared to your Italian stuff. So here we go. We're exiting. I'm meeting a buddy of mine. We're going to go for a little ride today because it's absolutely gorgeous. Got a 3-day weekend here.